Hello, my magical friends. I'm Cowmingo. Now, today's video, I'm going to be decorating the top floor of the new Halloween mansion. Now, I will be decorating the other floors later, but right now, all I've been able to do is the top floor, which, as you can see, there's a whole lot going on up there. But I'm going to be showing you the entire top floor, what I've done, and after that, I'm going to show you how I did it. Let's go ahead and walk upstairs. Now, look at this. I have like fully capped off the top of the map. I have a cool little spider area up here with some skeletons above the main area. Like, look at this. Pretty cool. We'll be going in depth on this later when I show you how I made it. And here we've gone ahead and made my bedroom, which is super spooky. Floating coffin included, which is really cool. If you sleep in it, like your head has a laser beam going out of it. Like Superman, but instead of just the eyes, it's your entire head. This room looks amazing, though. I'm so happy with what I've done with it. And in the next room, we have the bathroom that I've fully done up, and it is so good looking. But now that I've shown off the 3 rooms that I've done, let's go ahead and show y'all how I did it. Alright, so the room we're starting off with is the bathroom, and the first thing I did is I took the large wall pieces and put them on the roof, so I can color my roof black, so that way it is a different roof color. And then after I did that, I went into the new item selection and got the Cinderella dresser, and I bought 4 of them, put them all against this wall, kind of like some kitchen counters. Now, like, I'm gonna line them up a little bit correctly, so that way there's a nice little gap on both sides. But the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this really tall dresser, the cheapest dresser in the pack, and I'm gonna take it and lean it up against the wall, and then put a sink on top of it. Now, what this is doing is it's raising the sinks up above the counters, so you can have counter sinks. Because the sinks by themselves don't really look that phenomenal. But if you put them on top of the dressers, or even just any cabinet in the game, it'll look pretty good. Now, I do this for both sinks. I do redo this a couple times throughout this, just because I didn't like the lineup that I got. But you can really use any wall. You don't have to use this dresser specifically. I just like using it because it's a little bit thicker, so it's really good for lining up. But once I get all these sinks lined up, I do eventually color them, the little rim on this specific one red, and the base sink black in order to match the counters and the flowers on front of the counters. Now, once I got that done, I bought the full moon rug and like dyed like a dark red to put in front of the sink, like a little sink rug. And then I got the brand new mirror they've added. This is a really nice mirror, by the way. And I bought 2 of them per window. And if you like if you stack them just like this, they will they'll look a lot better. I think they look really good. And don't mind me, I'm just gonna quickly fix this up real fast. Now, do keep in mind this is sped up, obviously, but this did take me quite a bit. This isn't my first time doing this specific design. It's a little bit easier. The more you do it, the easier it gets. I did do it a lot, so I did cut out a couple of the sink things. But after I did that, I went ahead and bought these little string lights, and I dyed the base light red. But if you do that, if you do place that in there, do make sure that it's not going into the other room, because it will like go all over the place in the other room. Next thing I did is I bought this ducky towel, and I dyed the base of it black and the little mouth of it gray, and it looks like a little towel handle, which looks really, really good as a little hanging towel. It's probably one of the better things to do for a towel. And I also dyed the base towel red, so that way it's a little bit better looking, match everything else. I also went ahead and placed down a candelabra in the middle of the sink, because I figure this kind of matches like the style that we're going for. And so far, it's going really nicely. But once I got all the sinks lined up and I lined up the windows a little bit better and everything, we are done with the cabinet. I went ahead and bought one of the pet bowls. I dyed the pet bowl itself black and the little design on it red, and the paw prints also black. I also went ahead and bought this really nice red flooring that really complemented all the reds and blacks in the room. It just makes the room look a whole lot better. Next, I bought the new candy shower and went ahead and put it in the corner, dyed like the curtain red and everything else black. And also bought the brand new toilet because it's pretty creepy. And I dyed the toilet itself black and the little design on it red. Kind of looks like it's overflowing with blood. because this is kind of like a vampire bathroom. And after that, I went ahead and just built this wall and dyed the bottom and the top two different colors, just to kind of give like a little division between the toilet and the shower, so it doesn't look like the toilet's just in the middle of the room. And I also just bought a little plant to put in between it to add a little bit color because it was looking a little bit dark, and I'm very happy I did buy that specifically. And moving on to the second room I'm very proud of, I did go ahead and do the big walls on the ceiling for the black roof, which is really worth it, especially for the design I'm going for this room. This room's gonna be very, very dark. I also have the kitchen floors in here because they yet again you'll understand why in a second, and the walls are black just to make the room look a little darker because this is gonna be a vampire's bedroom. But after I go ahead and place down those, I do make sure that they aren't leaking out of the room because that does get a little bit annoying. But the next thing I do is I go ahead and place a fog machine on the far side of the bedroom, so that way the room can be full of fog. Now I do place more than one. I did end up using the smaller fog machine because it did fit the room a little bit better. Because the big one went outside the room, which doesn't look particularly well. And after I got that one placed down, I went ahead and placed down more walls in order to put in front of it so that way it's hidden and to get rid of the window. Because this is like a vampire's bedroom and vampires don't like sunlight, so might as well just cover up the window. And I do that on both sides too. So that way both windows are covered, and it does look kind of cool that you can't see the baseboards on that side on both sides. But once I do that, I go ahead and buy the new fireplace and put it on near the entrance of the room, just for like a little decoration on that wall. Try to line up correctly. And I went ahead and dyed the middle of it red. That looks like maybe like a blood fireplace, like blood fire, kind of cool. I like it. And after that, I bought the brand new clock, and I also bought one of the rectangle pieces to put on top of, so that way it's like floating off the ground. And I got the brand new spider mirror thing to put it above the fireplace. It is a little broken. You can't put it on walls directly, so I did use the piece to line it up also. And I also went ahead and dyed the glass red and the barrier on the sides gray. I do change the color of the side to a different type of gray to make it look a little better. But after that, I go ahead and buy a nice sized table and a coffin bed. Now, this is how I'm floating the bed, by the way. I just put like a really nice sized table in the middle of the room, put the coffin on top of it, and then I take the bed away. But before I take the bed away, I go ahead and buy this light thing and to put it on top of my head, so that way that's how I got the beam there. And if you put it on top of the table, it won't shine through the bottom of it. So that worked out really nicely. I also went ahead and bought these two cabinets to put on both sides of the bed because it does look a little bit better. Maybe it's like the vampire's wardrobe or something, which is because everyone needs nice fashion. And I also went ahead and dyed the light red, and I got this oval rug to put below it. I did go ahead and dye it red, so that way it's like maybe like this like pile of blood, maybe, I don't know, something creepy like that. I do mess with the fog machine right here. I think my fog machine broke because it's not changing the color of the fog, so I'll fix that later. But at this point, I went ahead and rebought that cabinet and a brick, and I went ahead and placed candelabras all floating in the room. Kind of like out of Harry Potter. It looks really cool. I think I'd buy like 7 or 8 of them to put around the room. I think it might be 7. 7 different candelabras around the room just floating. And it adds something magical to the room, not just like a plain room. It's more magical now because of the floating candles. And after I place down all of the candelabras, I go ahead and buy a blood bag. And also later an alarm clock. I put them like next to the bed. Because everyone needs a midnight drink, so I got the vampire blood bag, and everyone needs like an alarm clock. So I went ahead and also bought the alarm clock in order to, wake up on time, like a couple 100 years or something. I also go ahead and add a couple ghosts around the room to add just like an Easter egg, in case anyone tries to sneak behind my bed. Gotta scare him somehow. But overall, I'm super proud of this room. I love like the floating coffin in the middle of the room, and just everything about it is so cool. And if you notice this, everything in the room is floating except the fireplace, because I don't think a floating fireplace would make sense. But everything else looks pretty cool. But like, there's literally nothing on the ground in this room, so I'm very proud of it. Now on the balcony, instead of just like putting some stuff on the balcony, I went ahead and placed down a bunch of the large wall, made my own custom flooring. Now I did also go ahead and place down a new wall and a new ceiling on all sides, so this room got very dark really fast. Now once I finished placing down all of the walls and ceilings in this new area, that I'm actually very proud of how well I did it, I went ahead and bought a bunch of the spiderweb rugs and a spider on the spider web and 2 new skeletons to put on the ledge right there, because it looks pretty cool. Nice little detail. I also went ahead and got these cool little neon lights, and I put them on all of the corners of this area, which serve multiple purposes, just like making the room look a little better, and it actually helps me see where I can place things, because I literally cannot see in this room half the time. It's so dark. I feel like I can walk in a straight line for an hour and I'll never get to the end of the room. It's so dark in there. Now I did that for all 3 corners, and I went ahead after that and I bought some cauldrons and the cauldron rug, because I kind of want to get like some skeletons and like have a little cauldron area up there. I like to have like skeletons taking a bath inside of the cauldrons. And I also went ahead and bought that mirror that I used in the bathroom and kind of put it in between to get like a little bit more detail on the wall. I did end up getting 4 different skeletons, 2 with mouths and 2 without, and just putting them inside the cauldrons by putting a brick below them, so that way they're tall enough, because they are a little bit short. They can't see outside of the cauldron, so you have to get them a little bit elevated, which I definitely think is worth doing. It looks so good from it. And after that, I went ahead and bought the jukebox. I don't own the Game Pass, but I do think it looks really cool. And I went ahead and like dyed it super dark with a little bit of purple, red, and some black mixed in too, which definitely made it look really Halloween-like. I'm very happy with it. I also went ahead and bought the same half rug I used in the bathroom and put it below it, just to kind of make it stand out a tiny bit more outside of everything else in the room. I also bought 2 of these tables for just like a little table here that I'll be using later to store some stuff, just for a little bit more decoration, even some snacks for the party. And I also got the pumpkin rug, which I really have been wanting to use because it's like really big. Definitely worth buying. Looks really good. I also bought the brand new couch and like dyed it black and white, which looks really good. I did the exact same thing to the dungeon desk, and I did the same thing to one of the pet beds for like a little pet to hang out up there. I also bought another one of the spiders and put them on the inside. Spiders need the party too. Everyone's invited to this monster party. I also got the new end table and put a candy bowl on top of it for like, it's Halloween. Everyone got to trick or treat. Everyone got to get candy. And I also went ahead and bought a whole bunch of the new food and put on top of the new table I bought earlier, which definitely makes the room fill in a whole lot more. I also bought the new sci-fi chairs and like dyed the little green things red, which definitely makes the room look really cool. I like the red that glows on the bottom. I also went ahead and bought some ghosts and skeletons and put them around the place too. One ghost is like looking for a snack, and I also put the skeleton on one of the sci-fi chairs. I wish it was a sitting one. That'd be really cool. And I also went ahead and put the tall ghost on the couch because he needs to take a seat. CD for everyone. I also went ahead and just like bought some plates to put on on the dungeon table because there's a lot of food here and there's like no plates to use, so just get him some plates. I also bought a coffin and another ghost and put them by the door to the vampire bedroom, which is kind of like a label. If anything, like looks really good. I'm very happy with this room, by the way. It's really, really nice. I also went ahead and put a bunch of the black roof on everything else too. But overall, I'm super happy with how this turned out. I cannot wait to do the bottom 2 floors. It's gonna be so much fun. But let me know down in the comments, what did you think of my build? I think I did a pretty good job, and I'm very curious, have y'all done any building yet? Because the new decorations are so cool. But don't forget to like and subscribe, and even hit that bell so you never miss a single Overlook Bay or Adopt Me video. And I will see y'all next time. Goodbye!